Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are almost done with Romeo and Juliet. We've got like 4 days of this left, and then we get into the Comedy of Errors, because since we started this whole project with A Midsummer Night's Dream, we skipped over the plays, anything that starts with a the, and we're going to do them now since we're getting to the T's. So we get into the Comedy of Errors once we're done with Romeo and Juliet, and then we're probably going to spend about a year working on the plays, because there's a bunch of them, and this whole thing has taken 3 years just to get to the R's. Anyway, that aside, we are in Act 5, Scene 1 of Romeo and Juliet, and we are currently with Romeo in Mantua. And remember, he was banished and went to Mantua because he had killed Tybalt, who's Juliet's cousin. He didn't take it very well, she didn't take it very well anyway, but he's hanging out in Mantua, sort of awaiting letters from Friar Lawrence, who said that he will write often to tell Romeo what's going on so they can also figure out a way for Romeo to get back to Verona. Meantime, Friar Lawrence, in order to help Juliet avoid getting married to Paris, gave her a vial of stuff which is supposed to make her appear dead for 42 hours. So waking up on her wedding morning, she doesn't actually wake up. Everybody thinks that she's dead. They take her to the mausoleum. Hopefully they don't put her in a coffin or bury her 6 feet under the ground or go to cremate her, anything like that. They just literally dress up her body and take her and set her body, maybe adorned with some rosemary and in some pretty clothes, inside the monument. And I guess she gets to rot there for a little while. That's how they used to do it. Or maybe they move her bones a little bit later. Maybe they're just on display for a little while. Anyway, fortunately, she is somewhere where when she wakes up, she's not gonna freak out about being inside a coffin with no air. She might freak out being surrounded by bones, but that was a risk that she knew she was taking. So anyway, she has been taken there. Romeo's friend Balthazar saw the procession wherein she was being taken from her house to the mausoleum and thought to himself, oh my God, Romeo needs to know about this. Of course, he doesn't know that it's all a hoax, that Friar Lawrence had given Juliet this potion. Balthazar thinks that she's actually dead. So he rides out to Mantua, and yesterday we had Romeo like being all happy, thinking the good news was on the way, and then Balthazar shows up and says, no, actually Juliet is dead. And Romeo doesn't take the news very well. Balthazar's like, is there anything that I can do to help? And Romeo says, no matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses, I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, culling of simples. Meager were his looks, sharp misery had worn him to the bones, and in his needy shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders and musty seeds, remnants of pack-thread and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Noting this penury, to myself I said, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need, and this same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holy day, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary! So, he's going to go back with Balthazar to Verona tonight, but he's not going to go back to like mourn and pay his respects. He's going to go back to kill himself next to Juliet because, you know, why take a moment of silent reflection to grieve the loss of a woman that you married 17 hours after you met her? Why not just go ahead and kill yourself? And he actually remarks on that. He says, O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. So he knows that this isn't maybe the best thing, that he's being desperate, but he thinks it's interesting that his brain instantly goes from Juliet's dead to I need to be dead too. And since he has that thought of, I need to be dead too, he remembers that he saw an apothecary shop, and it was meager and had all sorts of weird stuff in it, and it was nearby. And when he first saw it, he thought to himself, if anybody ever needed to buy an illegal poison, this would be where you go to get it. So now he was remembering, I need an illegal poison, I should go to this apothecary. So he goes to the apothecary's hut and he shouts, and the apothecary comes out and he's like, I need a poison. And the apothecary's like, I have one, but it's illegal to sell it to you. And Romeo's like, I have lots of money. And the apothecary's like, well, I like money, so I'll do it. He gives him the apothecary gives Romeo a poison and says, you know, put this in whatever liquid you want and drink it, and then you'll pretty much die instantly. And Romeo's like, cool, thanks. And he prepares to go back to Mantua, and that is the end, or go back to Verona, and that is the end of Act 5, Scene 1. So we'll find out how effective that potion is. We still need to find out if Friar Lawrence's potion actually worked the way that it was supposed to. You know, does she revive in 42 hours? And all sorts of wonderful things like that. So come on back for the next couple days while we finish this one up, and then we get into a comedy to cleanse the palate after that. So I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.